Welcome to the Holly Area Community Show. I'm here in the Holly Band Room with the director of the high school band, Keith Wander. Welcome to the show.
Hi there.
The reason we're here with you today is you've got some exciting things coming down the pike, and you just had an exciting event a few weeks back, and that is your trip to New York.
Yes.
And so what were the groups that went to New York?
The groups that went to New York, we do this every 4 years, were our jazz band and our pop singers and our rhythm and blues group. It's more of a horn band with singers.
So it's not the full band or the full choir, it's those specific groups.
Right, it was 49 students.
Oh, so that's pretty ambitious for New York, 49 students.
Trying to get them all there safely and back is interesting. Yes, we did.
But I know that you have a pretty well-oiled machine when it comes to trip planning because you've been doing this for how many years?
About 30 years.
Oh my goodness. You've been at Holly for 30 years?
28 at the end of this year. So.
Isn't that something? Well, I know I chaperoned a trip to New York and it was fantastic, and we're going to be talking to some students about the trip. But what are some of the benefits in taking kids to a place like New York?
Well, there are a number of benefits. A number of my friends and myself do these student tours, and we have sort of agreed on places that are unique that we hope everybody can experience at least once in a lifetime. New York happens to be one of those places. It's always a mind-opening experience when you travel, and especially to some place like New York where, and the kids have told me this, it's just so much different than what they're used to here in Holly. To be able to walk down the street and the shortest building that you see is 10 stories tall sort of changes your perspective on the world. The other part of that is the students realize we made it there in 24 hours. And if you fly there, you can make it there in 3 hours. Your whole world just becomes smaller. And you realize that those things that you dream that you could do are actually very attainable. And I think that translates across to jobs, the things that they do down the road, more confidence in what they do because they've had more experience.
Yeah, and that's what I saw too when I chaperoned the trip, even just going to a Broadway play.
Yes.
A lot of these kids would never do that, and the enthusiasm with some of the students, it was really compelling.
Well, it's always interesting because I always have those students that go, oh, we're going to a Broadway play, and they get out of there and they're, wow, that was the most incredible thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, they just have no idea.
It's never been exposed to them, so they just never believe that that sort of thing is out there that they would enjoy.
Yeah, it's learning that you really can't get from a textbook. You just have to experience it. So, and kudos to you for doing such a good job with this. I know it takes a lot of work, a lot of coordination, a lot of things have to be in place.
It's a lot of fundraising. I start planning these trips about 2 years ahead of time. And with that, it tends to go really smoothly. This was a fantastic bunch of kids. We had absolutely no problems. They received everything real well. They were very excited about what we were doing every day. They got absolutely no sleep. And neither did the chaperones, for that matter. So we were all very tired when we got back.
Sure.
But they just experienced so much. It was such a positive thing.
I'm sure. And let's talk quickly about the musical that's coming up. First of all, I hear you're doing Grease.
Yes, we are.
Nice job. Well, Grease has been done in the past, though, correct?
10 years ago.
10 years ago. Okay. And I know the kids are excited about it in talking to some of them. So how is that going?
It's going real well right now. We have a student choreographer this year, and she has done just an amazing job.
And we're going to meet Britta in a moment and talk to her about it.
Yes.
Because that's a big part of the show is the choreography.
It's a huge part of Grease, yes.
Yeah. And what are the dates?
The dates are May 18th, 19th, and 20th, or 19, 20, and 21. I can't remember. It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
It'll be on the website, and it'll be in the newspapers. We'll be hearing about it.
Yes.
Thank you so much. We're going to take a quick break, but thanks for coming to the show, Keith.
Thank you.
And we're back with Britta Berg, who happens to be the choreographer of the musical Grease, my personal favorite musical of all time. So welcome to the show.
Thanks.
So, Grease, do you know why? Was there several musicals that were looked at, or did they know for several years that Grease would be the musical that was going to be this year?
Well, the seniors have wanted to do this for the past few years, so this year we finally convinced them to do it.
And you're a senior, so
Yep.
Did you have a part in convincing them?
Yes, I actually even came to Mr. Wander's office and started singing songs from it one day just to try and really get him to say yes for it.
Good tactic. Yeah, it's like I said, it's my favorite, and I bet it's so much fun being the choreographer.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun too.
So you take all these students that obviously half of them are guys, and I'm sure a lot of them are not on the dance team, right?
Yep, there's no dance requirement for being in the musical, so you have to take that into consideration also when you're choreographing.
Are you telling me that it's pretty simple choreography, or?
For a high school musical, I'd say that some of it's quite extensive actually, but some of it's pretty simple also.
Really? So what are the challenges in it, and what do you like about being the choreographer?
Well, the swing dancing I've noticed has been a real challenge for some people because we're not used to dancing like that. And challenges as a choreographer, it's just people have high expectations for this musical, so I had to do a lot of research from watching the movie and figuring out how I could incorporate moves from that and put it into a high school musical.
Wow. So how much time does that take per day? Like, how long are your rehearsals?
Our rehearsals are about 2 to 2.5 hours, but we're just getting started. As it goes on, it usually gets longer, and we throw in a few Saturday practices also.
Oh, I cannot wait to see it and see the dedication, the fruits of your dedication.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for coming to the show.
Thanks.
And we're back with a couple of students from the Holly Music Department. Now, are you both in band and choir, right?
I'm just in band. Well, I'm in band and choir.
You're in band and choir. And how about you, Courtney?
I'm just in band.
You're in band. Okay, and now I understand you just got back from an exciting trip to New York. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
It was a lot of fun. We got to play in the Madison Avenue Atrium, and it was just really different than Holly, so it was a good experience for us.
I've been to New York once, and I can attest to that. It's different than Holly in New York.
Very different.
So what was the highlight for you, Aaron?
I would have to say my highlight was watching the Memphis musical. It was really well done, and I just found a lot in it.
Really? So the Memphis musical, I don't think I've heard that. Is that a new musical out on Broadway, or?
Yes, it is.
It is. Oh, wonderful. So what else did you see aside from the musical?
We saw Times Square. We drove past Central Park. We saw the musical Wicked. Just a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh, that's wonderful. So how many days were you there, Courtney?
3 days.
So you packed a lot into those 3 days.
Oh yeah, very full days.
And were you exhausted when you got back?
Of course.
Well, welcome back to Holly. Glad to have you back. And thank you for coming to the show.